it off.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
well I know it doesn't show up until like because when I do your thing,
mhm.
you will start. It's a delay from there
Well,
to
yeah,
here.
yeah. That's. But like, I'm curious on when it actually starts. Does it start like 5 seconds in? I don't
Well,
know.
it says 1 minute.
One
Watch
minute.
one watching. Start streaming less than 1 minute ago. Oh, less than 1 minute ago.
It's been only going for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
You
and
know
the
what?
one that's watching is your laptop.
Yeah, yeah. So, with that being said, now we're back again with another episode of Box of Topics. Because you never know what you're gonna get.
Woohoo!
Let's get that
We
back
are
again.
on number 20,
5.
25.
Yeah,
Ow!
that's where I'm
I
at.
love it.
Man, what a fun little occasion. We're a quarter years old.
Ah, yes. Yes. 25. Oh, we 25. All right, all right, all right. So, I wanted to talk about dating.
Ooh.
Woo, dating. Okay, so did anybody out there have terrible, the good, the bad, the ugly? I want to
Ugly.
hear the good, the bad, the ugly dating stories.
Mm.
Like, oh my God, is there anything out there where you just be like, I can't believe this? Like, unless somebody was there to witness it, nobody is going to believe this story.
One of those. I don't really have any crazy stories,
Oh, I do.
so
I got
you,
one.
like all my stories is either like what was your dating like? Well, I tried online dating. How'd that go? Didn't work until it did.
Ah,
That's it. Yeah, pretty much.
well, I have a terrible dating story.
Ugh.
Oh my God. So, this guy, he was gonna take me out,
Mm-hmm.
and so he came to pick me up,
Okay.
and he
Don't go
took
so
me.
far.
At the time, I stayed at Tireman, off of Tireman on a street called Seabolt.
Okay.
This is like in Detroit. If you know Detroit, then you know where it's at. He
Mm-hmm.
took me all the way to Macomb Mall for the 75 cent show,
Oh.
where we both went in
Mm.
and he proceeded to pay with a handful of change
Mm-hmm.
to get us both in the 75 cent show.
Mm-hmm.
After which, he used his leftover change to buy himself some popcorn and a drink. And then we went inside the 75 cent show and watched the movie. So then after that, then and like I said, he picked me up from Tireman and Livernois area. Okay, that is miles from Macomb Mall. Miles. It's a long, long distance. So then when we get back out, he comes out to the car and he asked me, he was like, well, I hate to ask, but do you have any money? Because I need some gas. So I was like, and of course, me not being a dummy, when you go out on a date and somebody's picking you up, you always have mad money. But I didn't tell him that. I was like, yeah, well, I only got $2, and that's all I got until Friday because it was a Wednesday. So he was like, well, I hate to ask for your last, but could I get that $2? So I was like, fine. So I gave him the $2, which he used for gas. And then he took me back home. And then he walks me to the door and leans in for a kiss. And I was like, hold on, player. The way I calculated, you only spent 75 cents on me at the 75 cent show. And I gave you a $2. Dog, you into me for $1.25. If anybody get to make a move for a kiss, it should be me. So then he was like, it's just I didn't get paid. This that he give me all these excuses. Like, okay. I said, but still though, I'm straight on you, right? So then he was like, okay, no, I'm gonna do better. So then he calls me on Friday and was like, can we go out again? I was like, oh, I already spent my check. I ain't gonna be able to go out with you. I can't afford to go out with you because I've already spent all my money on bills. Worst date ever. Every time. Oh my God, when we all get together and my friends and we would talk about our worst dates, I would always win hands down. They was like the 75 cent show. I was like, yeah, I didn't even know that whoop, boop, boom.
Didn't even know that boy
I
existed.
didn't know that mofo existed until it took me miles away from my house.
Like he spent more money getting you there
Danny, what if we just would have went somewhere? Because they had dollar shows out in Detroit.
I do one even better. Sometimes you don't even need a, because like if I was to ever take my lady out for a date, shoot, we probably just chill on the couch somewhere, or just go out, and look at the stars or something.
It
One
is
of those
possible
movie
if you are
romantic
money
things.
challenged. If you are money challenged and you want a date, it's possible to take somebody out on a very lovely date, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. And I mean, you can just let the person know, hey, I'm light on funding, but I still want to show you a nice time.
Mhm.
And then if the person, it'd be like, okay,
And that way
sure.
you get to understand who you're dealing with, at the very
Exactly.
beginning.
You can
You know,
understand
they
early.
$5, nothing. Then you
Yeah,
know.
because
That
I
way
saw a Facebook post where the guy, he sent the lady $30 and was like, here, lunch on me. And she sent it back and was like, well, I'm supposed to do with this and that and $30. And I was like, okay. I will see. Now you know she's an ungrateful, gold digging. So you don't need to be bothered with that. Because you give me $30 for lunch, I can make lunch happen out of that. I can make lunch happen for 2 people out of that.
I can make lunch happen out of $5.
So
Easy.
it's like I can make it happen. And it ain't gonna be no McDonald's or nothing either.
No.
Out of $30, I can make some good lunch happen.
Mhm.
And it won't be it'd be beautiful. We can have some sushi, we can have some grilled salmon. It's a lot of stuff I could make happen out of $30.
And then make it
It
look
just
like,
depends on what your taste is.
and then make it look like it's a whole advertisement. While you're done with
Man,
everything, you just,
it would be
how'd you get all this
beautiful.
with just $5? It's an Aldi thing.
Man, it would be a beautiful setup. And it's just, it shows early what the mindset is of the person that you're dealing with. And I like getting a mindset early.
Oh, of course.
I don't like investing a whole bunch of time and then surprise.
I'm actually a terrible person.
God.
Also, we
Yes.
have another phone.
Oh, bad intentions. Of course not. You're only 26 years old. Ugh, I swear. Anyway, you know who that is.
By the way, I wanted to ask you specifically.
Nah. Anyway, we ain't gonna do that there. Anyway, so back to the dating. So has anybody out there have some terrible dating stories? I want to hear the horror stories. I want to hear your warrior. I can't believe we did this. Oh, I got another one too.
Mm-hmm.
I got another terrible dating story. So a guy asked me out, and I was like, sure. So then he brought his kid, and he said, hey, why don't you bring your kids? Because we're going to this carnival. And I was like, cool. So I told him, I said, well, look, my check just got in the mail. This is before direct deposit. I keep telling people I'm like back in the 1800s. So this is before direct deposit. So I said, I just got my check in the mail. I said, can you take me by the bank? I'll cash my check. And then the kids can hang out. We'll go to the carnival, all that. So he was like, yeah, sure. So then he picks me up, takes me and I only brought 2 of the kids because he had a small kid. So I brought my 2 small ones. At the time, that was your brother and your sister, not the oldest, the one under. So we out. And he takes me to the carnival. And I was like, hey, I say it again. I didn't get a chance to cash my check when we pull up. He's like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. Do you know he took his kid around, paid for him to play games, paid for him to eat, paid for all this stuff, and did not pay for us for anything. And it was like, I told you I didn't have no money. I told you I had to cash my check. And then later on, afterwards, when he dropped us back off, I get in the house and make sure I get mine something to eat because we hadn't ate nothing the whole time we was out for hours. And I was like, wow, that was super shit. That was super crappy. So then he says to me, he was like, I'd like to see you again. I was like, were we on the same date? I'm like,
That's not even a date. Like, that only makes one of us.
Man. And then he called me and was like, I told him, I gave it to him both barrels. Like, dude, you was inconsiderate. You was selfish. You was this. You was that. He was like, I thought we had a good time. No, you and your kid you and your kid had a good time. Me and my kids were sitting there watching y'all just enjoy all the activities while we was just over there like step kids.
They
Like,
look really fun over there. Must
right.
be nice.
Yeah, I was like, what was the point of that? So yes, that was my two horrible dates. But yes, anybody else got some horrible date experiences? I know y'all got them out there because it can't. I know there's too many single people out there. Y'all single for a reason because you done ran into some idiot and you ran the opposite direction. I know. So what's them horrible dating stories?
Some people learn how to moonwalk because of it.
Oh Lord, have
You ever walk
mercy.
into a crappy situation and just immediately start moonwalking out?
Eh,
I did that at
or
least 5 times already.
all right, so nobody got a crappy date story. I got a creepy date story.
Oh no.
Oh, I got a creepy one too. So the guy, he asked me to meet him. We would talk back and forth for a minute. He asked me to meet him for breakfast. So I
Okay.
go to the Coney Island. It was the one right up there on Grand River and Schaefer. I met him at that Coney Island to have breakfast.
Mhm.
So while we're sitting there, we ordered the food, we're waiting. So he was like, "Oh, you look tired." I was like, "Yeah, I just got off work, long day." He said, "Oh, well, let me help you relax." So he gets up, comes to the back of the chair and starts giving me a massage on my shoulders.
Okay.
The people in the other booth was even looking like, what the heck is that? And he was like, do you feel more comfortable? Actually, no, I feel, I feel very uncomfortable. I feel less than comfortable right now. I was like, yeah, that's you don't have to do he no, but I like pleasing people. Well, you know what would bring me pleasure if you would sit your butt down and get from back here, massaging my shoulders like, dog, that was our first time meeting in person.
Ugh.
Like, no, it was just weird. Like, and then
Yeah.
so when the breakfast and stuff came, he was like, oh, he asked me, he was like, do you want me to set your stuff up for you? Like, he wanted to set my jelly up and my juice and all the, I was like I'm two?
How old were you at this time? A minor? Like
That's what I was like I just got off work. That means I definitely I got off work and drove myself there. Definitely not a minor. And I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, matter of fact, I'm just gonna take this home and I'm gonna eat it when I get home. I was like, I just realized I had to get the kids to a doctor's appointment. I forgot about da da da. And he was like, oh, okay. I can't wait to. And it's always the crazy and the weird ones.
I
Can't
can't
wait
wait
to
to
see
see
you
you
again.
again.
Right. Like,
No,
oh
you're not
no.
gonna see me again. You
Oh
can keep
no.
waiting.
Entertain. He said, write a book, man. Oh, trust me, I've had enough experiences where I could write a book. My
Mhm.
stories just be like crazy. I even be like in awe of how crazy activities be or like stuff that happen. I just be like, and sometimes I be glad when somebody's with me because I be like, you saw that, right? And I yeah, because it's
Made
just
no sense to you.
it
So
right. It's just be like, okay, you saw it, okay, and that was crazy to you too, right? And they be like, yeah, okay, I'm just making sure because you know I don't want to be on the crazy boat by myself. I definitely want to know that somebody else recognized, and it's like, no, it's not you. It's definitely them. Like,
mm,
thank you. Yeah. So, but nobody got the. Well, that's fine. Anyway, so I got another one. I got another creepy story. Okay, so it would be this guy that he kept saying that he met me when I was at a club celebrating my birthday. That's when he met me. So he was like, "Oh, you so beautiful, you so nice on this. Can I get your number?" He was like, "I'm gonna get you something for your birthday." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I give him my number. So he's talking to me, and he wants to be on the phone all day, every day. And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I don't even talk to my kids like this, and I love the heck out of y'all. But I'm like, I can't even be on the phone with them all day. So I was like, "Boy, I got stuff to do, errands, job, all this." So I limited the conversation. So then he kept saying, well, look, I got something for your birthday. Can you meet me at this bar? So I was like, fine. I met him at the bar. And then once again, it was the same thing where he came. He's like, oh, well, I left it in the car. Because when I came to the bar, I was like, oh, you got something for me? He was like, I left it in the car. He was like, when this is all over, I'll give it to you. So then we I go to my car. He goes to his car, then gets in my car, and all he wants to do is sit there and talk and look at me for hours. I was like, oh no, creep, hola, like oh my god. And so I was like, cut, no, I'm not doing this. So the next time he was like, oh, I got you something for your birthday. Come meet me. I was like, you know what? Take that gift.
And shove it in here.
You can take that gift and keep it, darling. No, thank you. Because if you really was going to give me something, I would have had it by now.
Indeed.
Yes, the whole bait and switch.
That is an odd scenario. Mm.
So yes, over the years, I've had lots of crazy, like, oh my, are you serious? Like, oh, and then, I thought because I was an older woman that maybe it was exclusive to me. No, it's not.
No, that's definitely. Is that game for them?
I don't know what that is exactly, but I've had where, something else that's weird. Like, guys will pursue you hard, in your inbox and text me. Oh, I want to talk to you. Oh, please text me. And then you give them your number and then you don't hear from them no more. Now, here's a new thing though that I just found out that sometimes that be the new scammers because it used to be they would always be doctors that's in Africa that's
it's always Africa.
It's always Africa. They be doctors in Africa and they be looking for a wife and all this other stuff. And so they would be the ones who try to scam you and all this other stuff. But I'm going to tell you what the new scam is in case you don't know. Anybody out there, I'm going to tell you. The new scam is people will go in your inbox and ask for your phone number. And what they're doing is using your number to try to break into your TikTok, your Facebook, all your social medias, especially now because a lot of social medias, people have their income information in there because you're using it to, get money. So that's how they be trying to do. They'll put your phone number in and like Facebook. That's why all of a sudden in your text messages, you start seeing your code for Facebook, your code for TikTok, your code for Yahoo, because that's what it is. They pretending like they interested in you to get your number to try to steal your money. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of that scam, but yeah, big facts. Yes.
I wonder what is like the funniest little scam I've ever heard in my life. I mean, of course, none of them ever work, but
it's so many scams out there. It's hard to keep up. I did have the one scammer who he started to like me, and for Valentine's Day, he sent me some these flowers and a box of chocolates. And then they always say never fall for your mark, and I think he started falling for his mark.
Ah.
Yeah, he sent me a Valentine's Day gift, a beautiful arrangement of flowers and a big box of candy, and it was a card in there. It was nice. I was like, oh wow.
He got reverse scammed. How did he?
Why?
Because nothing came up of it. I've never heard of this guy.
I wasn't trying to scam him. He just started.
He scammed himself.
He scammed himself, yeah, because he was a scammer. Originally, he was trying to scam me, and then he started falling for his mark. And then people was like, you gave him his address, your address? All right, boo, I stayed in the roughest hood of Inkster. I wasn't worried about nobody coming out there. If they made it to me, congratulations, you deserve to get me because we was in the worst part of Inkster.
There are landmines everywhere. How did you get here?
All you would hear about was people be dying in there every day. So it was like if somebody was that dedicated to come into that hood, we was in Little Saigon. So anybody that know about Little Saigon back in the day, you already know. But yeah, we stayed in Little Saigon in Inkster. So I would get my address out all the time. I wasn't worried about nobody bothering us. That's one thing. If you stay in a bad hood, oh yeah, come see me. Oh yeah, come visit.
I'll leave out the red carpet.
Man, you ain't gotta worry, because if they make it, oh, they worthy. They done battled the dragon. Come see you. Yes. Yeah. So, but dating is something else. But yeah, you young and you haven't really done a lot, and you've met your favorite person, so you probably won't do any dating.
Mhm.
Period. But oh my God, I have, and yeah,
Yep.
anybody else out there that's suffering through dating, or anybody out there that's having the best dating experience ever? That's
Yeah,
why I don't date. I don't.
yeah. It seems tiring. You know.
It is a lot. It is a major job to date. It really is. It takes a lot because first you got to meet the person. And then once you meet them, you talk to them and then you see if y'all have things in common. And then you start going out on dates. And the reason to take them out on dates is to see if they can behave themselves while they're in public and don't eat with their feet. It's stuff like that you want to find out about before you start making a commitment to this person. And then, of course, for the guys, you got the makeup queens out there. You want to make sure that what you're getting when that makeup is on is the same thing you're going to get when that makeup comes off. Hey, I'm not a makeup queen, so what you get is what you
Like,
get when
man,
you
she
see
looks
me.
so beautiful with the makeup on. Take the makeup off, and then you see why does she have mandibles?
It's just, hey, you just make sure that's what you get. I mean, to each his own, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm not going to say just because they wear makeup doesn't mean they're a beautiful individual. I've seen some beautiful women who just wear makeup, and I be like, you don't even need it, but they do anyway. But yeah,
Yeah,
so it's, hey, and you just make sure that when her face is washed, you're getting what you think you're getting. That's
yeah.
it.
You don't
Yeah.
want to get scammed.
Yeah. And then you got the people who, like I said, the chick was upset because the guy sent her $30 to buy lunch. It's like, oh my God,
Digging for gold.
yeah, you gotta find out what you get. And then even with that, some people still they'll be with the person and then be shocked when they do some straight up terrible stuff. And they just be like, oh my God, I can't. You be like, really? Because your friend's been telling you for the longest he wasn't nothing. And then your mama even said, his mama even said, like, come on, girl.
Yeah, like when you got people on your own team, you can be like, "Nah, you guys are just hating. Y'all single, so y'all trying to get me to be single." But when
Here's a,
people on his own team will be like, "So, no, he ain't nothing."
yes, yes. When I had a guy that I was going out with, he took me to his family reunion. And so he went to go get, I met his mother, his grandmother. So the grandmother was like, hey, why don't you get us some drinks? Get us ladies some drinks. So he was like, oh yeah, grandma, I got you. So he goes, leave to go get the drinks. So when he does that, she reaches her hand out to me, and I'm thinking she's like reaching her hand out to, like shake my hand or whatever. So I grab her hand, both hands, and I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, come here, baby. So I leaned in close. I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, you seem like a real nice lady. She was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, my grandson ain't ish. Get away from him as fast as possible. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I
Just
hear you.
the hey, I'm gonna tell you this because you seem like you're a nice person and you don't deserve him. What do you mean by that? He's awful. Oh,
Yeah,
what's
I
the
was.
worst person you can think of?
Cause
He's worse. Wow.
when she said it, I did the whole look like, are we serious right now? And I was like, and she was like, yes, he ain't ish, baby. And she said the word. She's like,
Mm,
he ain't ish. She's like, you seem like him. She's like, get away from him, run. I was like, yes, ma'am.
all right.
I hear you. Right. And then so the mama, I looked at the mama. She just looked off like,
Mm,
I was like,
not
okay.
defending him.
Right.
Well,
Like I hear you.
you know that would have been her cue to mom. Stop it.
Exactly.
You were always thinking he terrible. No,
No, she
no.
just looked at me like what she said, and then looked off.
Shoot, I hope you got your track shoes on.
Man, I was like, ladies, y'all ain't gotta tell me twice. I hear you. I hear you. So yeah, when you people, if you want to see it, you can see that people are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you get yourself up, just get away, run. Don't even leave the shoes. Take off. Go.
Because you can hopefully always find another person.
There's always another person.
Mm.
Always. While you busy looking at somebody that's terrible, it's 5 people looking at you wishing they could get your attention. It's always somebody else. I don't care what you look like, what your size is, what your height, I don't give a thing. I've seen guys on TV with no teeth and have a pretty wife. So it don't matter what you look like. I'm telling you, there is always 2 slices of bread for a sandwich. Always.
I've never heard that, and that's funny. But yeah, and then I mean, I don't have any crazy dating stories, but I have my little stalker stories. I got those.
Oh my God, the stalker!
And only like one of them I've gotten because you told me about it. Because I didn't like. We're at a birthday party. It's my little brother's birthday party. We going around, it's a bunch of different games and stuff to play. And I'm just going around looking at everything because I like exploring, even if I can't go in the ball pit because I'm too tall. But I like exploring and everything. I'm checking on everybody, seeing how they're doing, checking on my little brother, seeing him in his little throne made of balloon.
It was air, yeah.
Yeah. And while I'm doing all this, unbeknownst to me, because I'm staying looking forward, I don't even have the thought to go,
who's
at any
checking
point.
me out?
Yeah, and then at some point, I'm just hearing that, there were 2 girls that were following me the entire time.
The entire time. Yes, I peeped that out.
And I mean, look, I don't know about anyone else, but for the most part, and I'm telling this to all those people that are nervous or like, what if they don't like me? Just go up and say hi. I promise you, they'll make so many things different. Just be like, hey, I saw you, thought you were cool, thought you looked nice, thought you were pretty, handsome, whatever adjective you want to throw out there. I thought you looked like a sack of flapjacks. Probably don't say that. And then just be like I'd like to get to know you. Something cool, something smooth. Don't just, hi there.
I think, for me, because a lot of people can't take rejection. Rejection is hard. I don't care. I'll walk up to somebody in a heartbeat, be like, hey, what's up? And then if they be like, I don't, okay, thank you, and walk off. Like, you're lost. But for a lot of people can't take rejection. So if you think the person is going to reject you, make it an accidental thing. And that's why you bump into them. Oh, I'm so sorry. And you bump into them and drop something. Let it be a few sheets of paper. And if they don't stop and be like, oh my God, and try to help you, whatever, or they just be like, ugh, and walk away, now you know. And you don't have to invest nothing and put yourself out there, nothing like that. That's so simple and so easy. And that way you ain't got to worry about, oh, she rejected me and everybody saw it. And then that's the beginning of your origin story to be a villain. Like, no.
And definitely, there's always the ones where it's like you try to get your friend to talk to the person for you.
Don't do that.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. Because 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen is either A, your friend is definitely going to be committed. Like, yeah, my friend over there wants to talk to you, but they're a little nervous. And I'm like, well, I want to talk to you instead. No, you're not understanding. My friend wanted to talk to you. I'm already good. Nah, I want to talk to you. Dog,
that's usually what happens when you send a friend to talk for you. The woman is either going to be like, well, how come he can't speak for himself? Or she going to be like, well, what's up with you? I mean, you came over here. Right.
And the worst one is where you send a friend to talk for you, and it looks like they're talking for you, but instead they're not saying a single thing about you. They're just
talking for themselves.
Hey, I just want to come over here, say how you were doing. Let's go over here and look at my friend real quick.
Exactly.
And what's your phone number? Like,
exactly.
So how'd it go? Hey, got her number. Oh, thanks, man. Didn't say who I got it for.
Exactly. So no, don't do that. I always approach yourself. Always do your own approach. Don't send nobody for you. And then can't nobody represent your story better than you can.
Even if it's nervous.
Yeah. And I mean, that's normal. But like I said, that's the easiest thing you could do. Just act, just be like, you bump into the person, you drop some papers and be like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I used to do that all the time. I'd bump into a guy and drop a few pennies or some change. And I'll be like, oh no. And if he stops to help me pick up the change, then it's like, okay. And then I pick up the change and he helped me. I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. Because I was going to get me a pop. And that was the last change that I had. And I'd be like, oh, shoot, I'm missing a dime. And then if he'd be like, oh, I got it. Oh, then you in there. You in there.
You know, make your own scenario.
Exactly.
Because the thing about it is the simple fact that, and try not to go too far, because
please don't.
Yeah, because
don't go too far. And then Mama J said, don't you do that.
You know, like I did not condone. But because in all honesty, just like how they say innocent till proven guilty, same thing, like, you know, like people don't know your full-on story. You do. You know, I know who I am and what I've been through, but people don't know. And in all honesty, I mean, for the most part, whatever in reason story you come up with, it's kind of no choice but to believe you until proven guilty. You know, hey, so I just lost my car to an elephant.
Oh my God.
How?
I hate when the guys come with me with the story. And that's usually the scammers. That's how I know. Because they be like, oh,
my cat ate my car.
My wife and my child was lost in a terrible accident. And now I'm over here in Africa working for doctors on off borders. Dark Lion 127. Hey, wow. How are you?
That's definitely a better name than Bad Intentions. Anywho.
Okay, Dark Lion. So what we've been talking about is dating. We want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do you have any dating stories that you want to talk about? Or weird? Oh, I didn't told my good, my bad. Well, I didn't have any good. I just told the bad and the ugly.
And the creepy.
And the weird, yeah. So.
And I don't really have any dating stories.
And well, that's, you know what? It's nothing wrong with finding true love early. Trust me. You know, they laughing. Nothing wrong with finding true love early. I wish I could have, but yes, I have lots of warrior stories when it comes to dating. That's the reason why I don't date anymore. I hung up my dating shoes or gloves or more gloves, because it's more like a boxing match. Dating is more of a boxing battle than it is anything else. So yeah, I hung up my boxing gloves for dating.
I personally kind of see it as like a little dance, you know, like time to see if the person can tango, and if they step on your shoes, on to the next person.
Only if you consider the dance to the death. That's the only dance that dating would be, because trust me, it's bad. It's terrible.
I mean, I can definitely say for me, I had a lot of different crushes, and those all did not pan out well at all. Now, one crush I had, I barely knew anything about the chick, and it was even worse because I was a kid, right? And my knowledge on the world was not that good. So, tell me why I heard a joke from one of my siblings talking about, what was it? I think it was like, your mom was so stupid that when she heard about the Super Bowl, she brought a giant spoon. So I actually thought the Super Bowl was a Super Bowl, and it was also like ballroom dancing. Don't ask me why I thought this. I was 5, right?
You was young. I mean, you always think stuff when you're young. That's okay.
Yeah, that was...
It's been different if you be like, well, I was 30 when I thought, no, that's different. You were 5. 5 is okay. That's acceptable.
And then, like, with a lot of other, like, crushes or whatever, it's like either well, 9 times out of 10, one, it would end because I'd see them doing something absolutely just foolish, or B, somebody get there first. And I will say, there was one lady who I did like when I was a kid, and then at some point while at school, I saw her outside literally acting like a chimpanzee.
Yeah, Stop it. What are you about to say?
No, I'm serious. That's not like an incantation. And she was literally outside the whole time with some other dude. And I'm like, that is not.
That's not okay.
That is not what I signed up for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't. No.
Well, I know. I used to think the guys that would do crazy stuff, I used to think that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, oh, that's so cute and all that other stuff, until I had two crazy guys, stalkers, at the same time, and it was like tag teaming me. And it was just like, it was an overload of crazy. It was too much. I was like, oh no, this is way too much. And they both would do the same thing. Like, I would block them and they would get a brand new phone number. They get a brand new profile, whatever media that I was on. If I blocked them, they get a new profile, a new phone number, and resume contact. Now, granted, the persistence was real. I don't have that much persistence for anything. I can't think of.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but they both at the same time, and I was just like, you know what? So now they ruined it for all the guys that's crazy. Where I be like, oh, that's so cute. No, the least little bit of crazy, I'm the opposite direction. Like, no, thank you. I've had my lifetime already. My lifetime supply. No thanks.
So is crazy like one of those things where like once you see it on a guy, like you could be like swooning or whatever, but the second he starts hanging from the chandelier, then all that just goes away.
It
You're
just
out.
drop. It's just like
immediate doom.
All of a sudden, boom! Like
Just
crash. It's like a light switch. Click right off. I just and okay. So like I said, it was a two, and one of the guys, I really think he needed medication and some type of supervision, because the stuff that he would say, I just be like, whoa, like, okay. But
like,
yeah.
What do you mean you had a toy chicken and just thought it'd be funny to? Why would you do that?
Yeah, he would say some real like, whoa, and then he would send me information to read, and then would quiz me on the information that he sent. And he'd be like, did you read it? I'm like, no, it was like a 20-page dissertation. No, I didn't read that.
Man, then, I love that out of my partners, getting homework.
Yeah, exactly. We like, oh no, I'm not, when people send them essays, I'm sorry, text messages, that's what they are. They are text messages, not text essays, not dissertations, not a college essay.
Don't send dictionary.
Don't send me no 20-page text. I'm not reading all that. I'm sorry. I'll read the first highlight,
and then first after that, I might skim, and then after that, I'm done. I quit.
I'm not. And then there was a pop quiz afterwards. Like,
I have to study.
Right? Like,
you didn't tell me that.
This is too much. Like, who does that?
Not me.
Yeah, that's when I realized, like, yeah, I think he needs some medical intervention, because, yeah, I can't deal with that.
That's terrible when you have to just, real quick, could you remind me what your name was again? Reginald Smith? That's crazy. You did not say Shakespeare. So why are you giving me Shakespeare thesis?
Oh my God. I was like,
no way you just gave me one version and then I translated on the other side. Oh my Lord.
Yes. And then would get upset.
When you didn't?
When I didn't do the homework. I was like,
what are you, my teacher now?
Woo! And it would just be like, okay, that's enough. Yeah, and then he want to get like belligerent on the phone. I just be like, click.
Whoa.
And then want to call back. Like, really?
I wasn't done.
Right. But that's the thing though. Okay, so you're talking to me, you're yelling, you're being belligerent. I hang up on you. You call back. You really think I'm going to pick up the phone? Oh, come on.
You know
who does that?
You know what that kind of reminds me of? I saw a video about this, and I want to believe it's 100% like a real thing, not even like a script. But it was some dude. It was two dudes parked next to each other. Well, maybe. I don't know the other person because it was just a first person perspective. But it was a dude parked next to another car. And he's screaming at me. but you can't hear nothing. So then at some point, he gets out of his car, opens up the other person's car, roll down their window, close their door, get back in his car. And then I was telling you, I'm like, duh.
Wow, just to make sure.
Just to make sure he can hear. I'm like,
that's a lot of nerve right there.
That's just,
I swear,
that's just funny.
Somebody get out of their car and open my car door. I'm the back up with you in the sandwich of the car. Like, bro, you gonna learn a lesson today. I'm telling you. You might not learn any other day, but today you about to learn this one.
That junk was just so stupid, though.
But that's not, no. But yeah, back to the dating thing now. Okay, so
I can't contribute.
Nobody. Okay, so he can't contribute, but yes, I have plenty of dating war stories. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. But yeah, nobody has any terrible out there. Y'all don't want to share. Y'all just want to listen to my horror stories. That's cool, because I got plenty more where that came from.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, I told you I was born in the 1800s, and I used to date. I used to try to find my person. And it wasn't until I realized that dating is just not for me. It was too many, just crazy. And then the dates that I would go out on where the guy seemed cool, you know? And then we go out and he'd tell me meet him at a bar or whatever. And then he would get so drunk, like barely could stand up and slurring his words and needing help to get out to his car. And I'm like, oh no, honey, I'm not gonna sit here. I was like, get him an Uber. And then when you try to prevent them from driving, they get upset, want to fight, and all this. And I was just like, wow. Once again,
those
thank you.
People, I'll never understand where they're like, oh man, I was so. That's another thing you was telling me earlier, where people be like, oh man, I was so hammered. I was like wrestling cows and everything. Like, dog, how do you? When does it get to the point where you drink so much that you're on autopilot? Where's the fine line? Because I know there's a point where if you drink too much, you pass out. So where's the?
Not for everybody. There are some people that can really hold on to their liquor. I mean, they can keep drinking, and it's like almost impossible for them to pass out. Like, okay, literally.
But for the normal human beings instead of the superhumans, it's like, where's the line? And then, like, is there actually a line, or do people use alcohol in order to justify their actions?
Sometimes people use alcohol to justify. I do not believe the whole I was so drunk I accidentally slept with my brother's wife. It's always they doing stuff that they know they're not supposed to. If you really are that drunk where you were not in control, I've never heard anybody say, well, I was so drunk, dog, I actually paid up all my child support. Or I was so drunk, I paid DTE their money. Or I was so drunk, I caught up on my car note and I was trying to hold that money to buy me some gators. You know, I've never heard those stories.
Man, you would never believe it. It was so crazy. I got so drunk, man. I donated to the nearest charity. Yeah. Dog. Like,
you'll never hear stories like that. There's always some stuff you know you're not supposed to do. And they be like, oh, I was so drunk. I did. Yeah, you wanted to do it. That's the whole thing. You just use the alcohol as an excuse. But yes. And then the people that have the wild stories. I'm so drunk, man. I jumped off the roof of this building and then I slid off the railing and landed in the pool. Yeah, I don't have cool drunk stories. All my drunk stories, that's why I don't get super drunk, because all my super drunk stories are lame. Lame is all get out.
I find them kind of funny.
Oh, well, let me tell you my drunk story. This is one of the reasons why I don't get drunk. So we were out celebrating a friend's birthday, and we were at one of the casinos in Detroit. Don't ask me which one, because I was too drunk to know.
Okay.
And I was drinking in the vehicle, and somebody else was driving. So when I don't have to drive, I was tilting it up. So we
Understandable.
get to the casino and we go to a bar that's in the casino. And so once we sitting there, I realize, I gotta go pee, you know. So I get up and the person tells me the direction that the bathroom is in. So I'm walking in the direction. As I'm walking, is this lady walking up to me. So I'm like, oh, we just walk right to each other. So I'm like, oh, excuse me. So I step over, she steps over. And I step over again, she steps over again. So I'm like, dog, why do we have to go through this? I said, I'm just trying to go to the bathroom. I was like, can you please let me get by? So I step over again. She steps over again. So I was like, that's it. So I'm going to take my finger to point her in her chest to tell her, move out the way. And I hit a glass surface. And I was like, oh, wait. I'm over here
Beefing with yourself.
beefing with myself in the mirror. Like, oh my God. That's why I do goofy stuff when I get drunk. I don't do anything cool. I don't do anything crazy. I just do goofy, like just crazy goofy.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, I'd probably do the same thing because, like,
now,
me,
don't nobody else out here. Y'all just heard that story. Don't share that with nobody.
yeah, because, like, with me, I know whenever I have a large intake of spicy water, um,
Ah,
I tend to get louder. I tend to get happier because I'm normally a happy, pretty loud person. So, of course, it just ups that. And for the most part, I feel like I also get a lot goofier under any kind of influence. I just start laughing a bunch. You know, pretty much turned into the that one joker who couldn't get a single joke out without laughing. That's me.
ah.
So yeah, and I will say, uh, with some of those, it did have me at the point where like some of the first few things I think I'd say, instead of thinking about it
And you ain't
first.
had no filter.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
lose your filter when you get intoxicated.
indeed. Now, not everything I thought came out. I found that pretty fascinating, which is another thing where it's like anytime I'm under any kind of, I'm like studying myself as I'm going through, like, oh, interesting. I have short term memory loss. Write that down. Write that down. Oh, interesting. I have short term memory loss. So,
Exactly.
yeah, that's usually how those situations go. And even as I'm like, because I remember while I was hanging out with my friends and we all had fun brownies. I was even telling them like my whole like distress and everything. Like, what if I do this? Or what if I do that? I didn't do it.
The paranoia.
Yeah.
Lord.
The only
Yeah.
thing that I did end up doing was accidentally cracking a piece of the wall. Oops. I think I fell into it.
Okay, so for my 48th, this is when the magic herb became legal.
Hmm.
And for my 48th, I was gonna get epically wasted for my 48th. I'm like, yeah, this the year. So I am drinking and intaking of the smoke. So I get so wasted that I'm sitting in the car. I remember us leaving the club because the first time I tried to do the magic smoke, I kept coughing like I was about to cough up a lung.
Hmm.
Then so we drank some, and then afterwards I tried it again. But by this time, the first try had relaxed my lungs so much to the point now I'm like a pro. I'm all like, yeah, I got this.
Hmm.
So I'm doing the intake, and then so I remember leaving and us walking to the car. I remember that. Then the next thing I know, we was at the after party, and I woke up, and I remember my friend was like, "Jay, we going inside?" I was like, "Yeah, come on." And then next thing I know, she was like hitting, tapping me again. She's like, "Jay, are we going inside?" I was like, I'm looking at her like, I thought we was already in there. I'm like, "Yeah, come on, let's go." Next thing I know, she's waking me up again. Like, I'm gonna take you home. I was like, yeah, maybe I should go. So she takes me home. And then I get in the house. And then I lay in my bed. And I'm like, cool. So I'm laying there for a few minutes. I was like, oh, shoot. I gotta go pee. So I was like, okay, cool. So I go into the bathroom and I go to pee and I'm done. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go and get in my bed. The next thing I know, I wake up, I'm still in the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, no, get up, go get in the bed. So I'm like, okay. So the next thing you know, I wake up, I'm still in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, no, for real, this time, get up and go get in the bed. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go get in the bed. I made up my mind. And then I woke up and I was still in the bathroom. Like, and I stayed there. I know we got here. I got home. It was like 4 in the morning. When I finally got out of the bathroom, the sun was coming up. That's what woke me up because I was like, oh, that's the sun. And so I finally, hours later, made it to my bed, and I got in there. But yeah, I was like, That's when I found out I cannot do the intake of the magic smoke and alcohol both at the same time. That is a no go for me.
Yeah, because I mean, with me, and it was funny too because I had short term memory loss, but remembered the whole sequence. So after I had a section of not remembering anything, then I remember everything. And I was
it
like,
was coming back.
yeah. And I was like, wait, did I just? And my friend was like, yes. But did I also? You did. But I don't remember falling over into the sink. How did you know I was gonna? Because you said this 5 times already. I did. Like it was such a crazy experience. And the only thing that kept breaking me out of my loop that I kept going through was the fact that at some point I noticed, when was that crack on the wall there? Did I cause that? And after that, they put a chair there because I was freaking out about it. And I was like, wait, don't mention the crack in the wall because you know what that is. But they put a chair there to keep you from freaking out. How long have I been here on this couch?
Yeah, that'd be some crazy stuff. But
the only things I remember is like they was gonna put on like a movie for us to be like laughing at or whatever. But
you slept through the whole thing?
No, I didn't want to laugh too hard because I thought I was gonna laugh my last laughs. I ain't wanna, all my other friends laughing. I'm like, I'll leave y'all to it. And at some point, while I'm going through this whole big thing of just, it felt like I was in the past, present, and future all at the same time. It was weird. So while I'm going through my Matrix looking walking, at some point I'm like, you know what? Actually, this is hilarious. This is a fun experience. Let me call one of my friends. I call one of them. And even though everything I see and hear is going on in so many different ways, on the phone, it's at like normal speed. Everything's a-okay in this area. Everything else, freaking weird. There are dragons apparently, but like while I'm on the phone and I'm talking to one of my friends, he was like, "So you're in the clouds right now?" Yeah, that's crazy. Ain't that crazy? I'm gonna call another friend. I just want you to know this.
Speaking of calling, have you ever got some crazy wrong number calls?
I wish I did. Instead, I just get scam likely calls, and then I start messing with them until they get sick of me. Like
you harass your scammers.
What else am I gonna do? Like one time it was a group effort. Like one of my friends had a scam number. He was like, "Hey, y'all wanna?" I was like, "Sure, why not? It's a Saturday. We're all hanging out."
Have mercy, harassing the scammers.
Hey, that's their fault for calling us.
Well, I know I got a wrong number one time, and the guy, he was upset, and he thought that I was his girl. And he was like, "Why you playing on the phone? You know who?" Because I'm like, "Can I help you? Who is this?" He was like, "You know who this is? You know what it is?" And I was like, "No, I do not know who this is." I said, "You had the wrong number." He was like, "I ain't got no wrong number. You know who this is? Quit playing da da da." So I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna hang up, and then whoever you trying to call, I suggest you call them back." So he was like, "Don't be playing no games with me, B." And when he said that, I was like, "Oh," I said, "You know what? Yeah, I do know who this is." I said, "And I'm not going to answer this call the next time you call back. I'm going to hang up on you. I'm going to do this." And then he was like, "Oh, if he said, if you hang up this phone and I call back, you don't pick up, I'm gonna kill you. I was like, yeah, you just talking all type of bull crap. You ain't about to do nothing. I was like, I would hang up. And so whoever you are, I hope you okay out there because I probably got you messed up. Like, sorry, that was me. I know he probably came back like, I was talking to you earlier. And he was like, that wasn't me.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm making pancakes. I know I got a bunch of like missed calls or like I get a voicemail and I'm like, ooh. Because there was one time I got a missed call and a voicemail from Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. And they're calling me like, hey, I guess we're just called to do Mr. Edwards. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like, Mr. Edwards, we're calling you. This is like our second or third time calling you. You owe about $18,000. And if we don't get it within a few hours, we're coming to get you. And I was like, oh, yo, Edwards is screwed. Oh, my Lord.
That's crazy.
And it's like they're not able to contact them because they contacted me.
Uh-oh. Poor thing.
Hopefully he got all his fingers and toes still because, man, they do not.
Woo! That's why I'm like, I hope you okay out there, girl, because I don't know.
You know.
I forgot the name, but yes, if your man came home and was acting crazy and said,
right. You say you gonna hang up on me? What?
Right, that was me. My bad.
Yikes.
Yes. Lord, them wrong numbers. And then you get people who will be calling you and saying all type of crazy stuff. And you be like, you got the wrong number. And they be like, no, I don't. Yeah, you do. Have you ever had somebody call you, it's the wrong number, and they be like, you called me. No, I didn't. Or they be like, who is this? I mean, who did you call?
Who did you call?
Right.
You're like, I picked up. What do you mean? Hello? Who's this? What you mean?
Right.
Don't you have caller ID? It's like the norm.
One time, no, this happened twice. And I'm telling you how them phones be tripping and glitching. This guy, he said that he got a call and it said scam most likely. And he was like, the number showed that it was my number. He sent me a screenshot of where it said scam most likely and my number. I was like, well, that was a computer glitch, boo, because I was just getting out the shower. Trust and believe, I did not have my phone in the shower calling you. I'm not that type of wacky. Not in real life.
You know.
Yeah, so
I will be fictionally though.
But you know, it is a lot of times it be still getting crossed up. Because at that same time, somebody else, same thing. They said that they got a call. You
just called me?
Yeah. No. It was like, you just called me. And I was like, no. And it was like, yeah, because it just came through and it said scam most likely and my number. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, well, trust me. I said, just had another guy call me about that. I was like, something is you know.
Something crazy.
Right, it's going crazy. If it says scam most likely, why is you calling the number anyway?
Trying to figure out? Like, you're not me and my friends. Stop it.
Like, ain't nobody, come on now. I was like, wasn't nobody trying to call you. You know this.
That's like this one time, like, I'm already in a relationship. And at some point, some random lady texted me, like, hey, can't wait to meet you. And I'm like, who the heck is this? You know, I'm like, I don't remember, like, did I not delete whatever dating profile I had? Because I could have sworn I closed those. I don't need them no more. So then she calls me, and I'm in the restroom. I'm just trying to watch YouTube videos. Hello? She's like, you just gave me your number. I did? Where did you even, where'd you get this from?
No. Yeah, I get those too. You gave me your number. And you told me to call. No, somebody else gave you a number and told you to call.
Like, where did you even get this from? She told me some random dating app. I'm like, is that a food? Like, I'm so confused.
So hey, I'm not even part of that.
You know?
Or I had another weird encounter where for Mother's Day, I wrote this poem. And I sent it out to all the women that I knew that was mothers. You know, I didn't have money for a gift for everybody. So I sent the poem that I made, you know. And this one guy called me and he was like, hello. And I was like, hey. And then he was like, you sent me something via text. And I was like, okay, what did I send you? You know, I send a lot of stuff. So, hey, I don't know. So he was like, you sent me a poem. I was like, oh. I said, well, it was supposed to be. And I looked on there. I told him what the number, who it was supposed to be. I was like, oh, so it's not her number anymore? He was like, no. So then he was like, but I like the poem that you wrote. And I was like, oh, cool, thanks. I said, well, I appreciate, he was like, yeah, can I take you out?
No,
I was like,
that's not how you.
I was like,
No.
what?
That's, sir, that's not the script. You were supposed to say, and I quote, I like your poem, you know, perhaps we could possibly talk more about poems or something along that line.
Right.
Like, do you have other poems?
Exactly.
If you're not too busy, perhaps, make it casual. I don't understand the immediate, wow, that's a really nice flower bed you got there. Oh, thanks. I made it myself. So when we gonna sleep in the same bed? Dog.
Yeah, that is weird. Like, what? How did we get here? And I
Did
said,
that work before?
Yeah. So I was like, based on the poem that I wrote, you want to take me out to dinner? He was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know. That going from 0 to 3 million, that's scary.
This ain't like the times where you have to dip the pen in ink and craft that. No, I could have got that off of AI. I could be crazy. Don't. No.
Oh, I got a question for everybody out there. So in our adventures, I saw a place called Hoots Wings by Hooters. Now, what is Hoots Wings? Is it the wings without the Hooters? Or is it you still get the Hooters? How does the Hoots Wings work? How is it?
I mean, personally, I feel like that's like having NASCAR with no cars. Like, what's the point?
You getting the wings without the hooties? I thought that.
Why not just go to Wingstop at that point?
Yeah, well, I haven't had Hooters wings in. Oh wait, it's been over 30 years.
I've never been to Hooters, so
I mean, I could take you, but it's not one of them things where you really want to go with your mother. Like, this is one of those things where you should go.
I don't think I'd really want to go. Period.
It's a few things where it's like, I don't think that's like a mom-son trip. Like, yeah, like the first time you go to a strip club or, stuff like that.
I don't think any of those trips are part of my destination.
I don't think that's a mom-son moment.
I don't think that's just on my moment, period. I'm going to get in trouble.
No, it's just a thing that I think there are certain things where you should go do with your boys, or you should go with your dad. Definitely. If you the first time
I'm not going with him either.
It's definitely not a mom-son moment. I'm sure there are some moms that go with their sons to the strip club.
I'm not.
But it'll never be me and you.
Look, I personally feel like when it comes to certain very personal things, or where you learn about that side of you, the feed your wild side, Slim Jim, that's not where you take your creators with you. Like they're supposed to be part of the innocent, I go to church every Sunday, not the let's go to the back of the church every Sunday.
Oh, no. There's some things too that I just don't want to know. Like,
of course.
I understand my children are grown. The majority of them are grown. And whatever you do in your grown activities, I don't want to know. I don't you want to be enlightened.
I know how people are made. I don't want to know how I was in great detail ever.
Man, that also, would just be terrible.
Is that what I think it is?
RKS.
I thought you looked familiar.
Yes, Hunters is for construction workers. And he said Hooters. Oh, yes. Hooters is for construction workers. Oh, okay.
Really?
Well, I mean, but what's Hoot Wings? Is it wings without the Hooters?
Is it like not so construction workers?
I
like
don't
just
know.
construction workers?
I just wanted to know. I saw it. I was like, Hoot Wings. I was like, okay, buy Hooters. And I was like, wait, if you getting the Hoot Wings, are you getting the wings with no Hooters or
are they like
It's
half
like
the hoot?
I don't know how's that set up, but yeah,
Are they around my build? Like
you silly. I swear to God.
who?
Yeah, so I don't know what that is, but I was like, maybe I'll look it up on Google and see what it
Maybe.
says. Yeah, but yes, maybe booty instead.
That's funny.
That would be funny.
Which, hilariously enough, that reminds me of like this thing that one of my friends made up. Because all my friends, very creative people, they always be making up different stuff or different restaurant ideas. And one of my friends made up a restaurant idea called Bun Buns.
Bun buns?
Bun Buns.
Where is selling bun buns?
Different flavored buns.
Well, at
And
least you know what? That's better than when we were driving out of town and I saw Biscuit World. And I was like, ooh, Biscuit World. Now, to me, Biscuit World sounded like
different
you
flavored
go in,
biscuits.
yeah, and they would have like different flavored biscuits and different flavored jellies and different flavored honeys and syrups and all this stuff, right? So I'm like, bet. So every time we would go past it, and I was like, oh, when we gonna stop at Biscuit World? Biscuit World, Biscuit World. So we finally stopped at a Biscuit World. That's when I drove. And we stopped at it because every time we ride, I would ride. I'd be like, hey, can we stop at Biscuit World? And they'd be like, oh, on the way back or whatever. Okay. So when I drove, we stopped at Biscuit World. Man, and I say I ran inside, like, and I'm looking. And the people even looking at me like, you okay over there, partner? And I'm like, I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, okay, what type of biscuits do you have? And the lady said, we got small, medium, and large biscuits. And I was like,
that's it?
That's it? Right. And she was like, yeah. And she said, what did you expect?
A world. Like, you don't go to Lego World and we got big, small, and medium Legos. Like,
exactly.
Everything's made out of Legos.
What? I was like, you need to take that sign down. That was false advertisement.
You need to replace with biscuit size.
Man, that's really right. Just different size biscuits. That's what you need to change that to. Biscuit World, to me, I thought it was like
we got bacon biscuits, gravy biscuits,
exactly,
sweet biscuits, tart biscuits,
biscuits
that aren't even like, all the way done.
Yeah, wow. It was be like you can get orange and cranberry biscuits, you can get blueberry, raspberry, you can get strawberry biscuits. I'm probably giving an idea away where somebody, if you open
will actually make that a thing.
Yes, it would be a thing because I know I would love to go in somewhere where they have different. You can get like a pineapple pumpkin biscuit, and then get some boysenberry blueberry jam to put on it, or get some mint jelly, or get
a chocolate biscuit.
Yeah, a chocolate biscuit. Ooh, and you get some vanilla, butter, cream. You know what? Okay, people, you heard this.
Yeah,
I just gave somebody a great business idea. So when you make your billions of dollars, I want you to give me my credit.
Yes. And same thing like with the whole buns thing. Like it's different flavored buns and everything like that. And much like instead of Hooters, it's buns.
Well, I mean, hey, that's cool.
Which, again, if that becomes a thing, credit, and then I'll transfer that credit to the original creator.
Okay.
Love that.
Yes.
So, yeah. But with that, that's crazy. But anywho, we're going to go ahead and end this off here because... it's bugging that time.
Oh, and let's not forget to give a shout out to everybody who stopped in. That would be Bad Intentions Entertainment, Dark Lion,
like that name,
127, and RKS Mutual.
Thank you for coming back, man.
Yes.
Always great to see all of you. Make sure to stop in again, for we will have way more box of topics because you never know what you're gonna get.
Don't forget
to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share with everyone.
Yes.
Share with your friends, your enemies. Heck, that one guy you want to annoy, just send him every episode on repeat. Just, bro, stop sending me text messages. Nah, bro, you're going to get every single box of topic. Until they come up with episode 100, I won't stop sending you these.
Yes. Yes.
There was one time one of my friends made like a really embarrassing video. So then I took that video URL and made it like my name on a whole different account. And he was like, "Why did you do this?" I was like, "Because I like messing with you. That's why. I'm a
Hey,
goofy goober. Like, what do you expect me to do?"
hey, you knew what you was getting
You know
into
what
when
you
you
were saying.
became friends with me.
You know,
Right.
which that will be another funny thing. Like anybody who be sitting there like, you knew what you signed up for when you signed the fine print. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, when you be friends with me, you
You
knew because
know
I
what you
tell
should
you
do.
everything
Oh yeah.
before we even get started. I lay it out. It's not gonna be no surprises. I'm
You
gonna
know.
let you know all my crazy, all
Mhm.
my everything. You get that up front.
And the only benefit you get is with me. You can just ask me any kind of question. It doesn't matter what it is. I may give you the truthful answer 9 times out of 10, but hey, at least why do you only eat Cheerios? Because it's
Well,
funny.
I'm a friends with benefits type of girl, but we're gonna talk about the type of benefits on the next episode.
That's horrible to end on. All right, see y'all later.
Ah.